You always want to hang out your hand bone. Oh, talk to my baby. Winston, you're too much. You're too much. I love you so much. So much. So much. I love it. He's bad. Now I can see. Don't forget, Winston, when you're filming, you look in the lens. Oh, you the best. You the best. So, you ready? What's up, plant nerds? Man, it has been a super busy day today. I've been having fun scrolling around on the Plantstagram today, and I have been enjoying so many plant memes here lately. The plant meme game on the internet right now is fire. I love it. It cracks me up. I'm reading plant memes to Casey all night when he's trying to go to sleep, so I really enjoy the plant memes here lately. I'm talking specifically about this account on Instagram called Philomemedrin. He is on fire. You need to go check him out. But today, what you guys are really here for is the plant tour part 2. So this is going to be featuring my plant room. The video that I released before this one was of me cleaning the plant room. So today we're going to get down to brass tacks and we're going to talk about what all's in here. I would say the majority of my plants are not here in the plant room, but I really don't know where all the plants are anyways, you know. I mean, there's a lot of plants in a lot of places. That doesn't matter. What we're going to talk about today is the plants that are here in the plant room. So, did I have anything else that I wanted to tell you guys? I had something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Can't remember. Hang on, coffee break. Oh yeah, I'm giving this Gloriosum away here. This is the Gloriosum itself that I'm going to be giving away. Now, I am not a professional plant mailer or anything like that, so we're going to work together and we're going to do our best. And there's no requirements to share that post on Instagram a million times or anything to be a part of the giveaway. All you have to do is watch for when this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, and we're going to do 1,000 sub, announcement video. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be like secret time almost, because no one else is going to know about it unless you want them to know about it. So only tell the people that you want to know about it. I think it heightens the chances of all the original subbies for this channel at Heart Shaped Leaves to win something. And that's what it's really all about anyways. So, I guess let's wrap it up and let's get to the plant tour. That was abrupt, but it's okay. We'll get through it together. We're gonna start over here on my little fern gully paradise. I've got a little pixie plant begonia that I got from, I can't even remember what nursery, and a pink polka dot plant, and also a little southern maidenhair fern. And behind those 3 things, I have my blue star fern, which is so beautiful. And I couldn't believe that I actually got that at Lowe's. Sometimes Lowe's comes through with some really, really amazing plants. The blue star fern is actually the only fern that I have that doesn't have a watering spike. It doesn't freak out if I don't water it right away, and it consistently puts out new growth. So it's a fun fern to grow. So these are all next to my main humidifier. They need it, they want it, they deserve it. We're going to move on next to my more fussy little britches that live in the fern gully. This right here is another type of maidenhair fern, and to the left of that is an asparagus fern that I picked up, and to the left of that is a begonia prismaticarpa, and his neighbor is another type of maidenhair fern over there. So this piece of furniture is on the very back wall of my plant room. It's the furthest away from the light source, but they still seem to grow okay. These ferns just mostly want water. Oh, and back there, that's my silver-leafed fern, silver vein fern, but it's super pretty. I've got one of these ferns on a wicking water system, and I have the one in the back on a water spike system. Now, for anybody out there who thinks, I can't do ferns, ferns aren't for me, I kill ferns, I want to show you something that lets everybody in this whole wide world have as many ferns as you want, as long as you're not keeping them in a closet. These are the watering spikes that I have listed in the description, and I'm going to show you how to use them. When you get them in the pack, they're going to have this little rubber band on it. Just take that off, pull the little cord out and all the way down, and you're going to want to get a water reservoir because you're going to be putting this sucker to soak. So you're going to fill up your little glass, and then when you get enough water to at least submerge the little piece, you're going to take the lid off. You're going to completely submerge the terracotta piece. You're going to let water fill up that little reservoir. Then go ahead and top it off so that you know for sure that sucker is going to get completely submerged. Then you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes, walk away, and completely forget you were doing anything. And then when your timer goes off, you're going to be like, what was I doing? Then you're going to pull out the little watering stake. Pour out only a little bit of water, not all of it. You want it to be filled with water. Then you're going to put your little silicone top back on it, and we're almost ready. Next, you're going to put your little stringy thingy down in the cup, and you're going to find the plant that you want to stick the little stake into. Word of the wise. Once you put your stake inside your plant, you're going to make sure that the soil is moist, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting that wicking type of procedure started. You want to also get it down terracotta deep into the soil. Now, word of the wise. If for some reason you let your reservoir dry out, you need to refill the little terracotta piece and refill your cup. Otherwise, you're going to be refilling a cup for nothing, and your fern will completely dry out. And once again, you'll be dealing with plant profanities, and we don't want that. We want happy ferns. Now that we've covered the fern 411, moving over, we have my little hosta plant that probably doesn't need to be in the house, but it seems to grow super well for me. I absolutely love the variegation that it has. It's like dark green, light green, super beautiful, and it doesn't seem to be upset about being in the house. It really doesn't. I love the way the leaves look, and to me, it looks like any other high-end plant. It's just a hosta that you would normally find outside, but I really, really like it. Right to the right of my hosta is my Dieffenbachia, or my dumb cane, and this has been with me from the get-go. It was super small when I first bought it, and I bet you this may have been my first plant when I got into the plant game. As you can see, she does not appreciate being this far from the light source, but she's just one of those girls that I just make her do whatever I want her to do at this point, you know? I love the variegation on her leaves, and I'm going to give her a fresh new pot and some fresh new soil because she deserves it, and she's been putting out all the best leaves from the get-go. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is the Dieffenbachia. I don't think they get enough credit. I don't think this kind in particular gets enough attention. But these guys, ignore that yellow leaf. Keep looking at the green stuff. This girl is beautiful. We all have flaws. Don't be picky. Anyways, moving on. On the top of the shelf that sits directly behind us when we're recording is these two gigantic alocasias. The one on the left is the Mayan mask alocasia, and the one on the right is what I believe to be the Alocasia metallica. Now, both of these alocasias were on the ground, and I had to move them up because they were just getting so big and so wide that I couldn't maintain. So I'm not exactly sure if they're going to like it up this high, and I'm guessing not, because that would probably be way too easy. But they're very beautiful, and they're definitely one of my favorite plants in my plant room. What I like most about these two different alocasias is the one on the left has like the lime green veination, and this one on the right has like this deep purple maroon veination. And the back of those leaves looks exactly like duct tape. I filmed this first thing in the morning, hoping to catch the light just right on everything, but you just can't capture it all. If you ever get a chance, look it up on Google. They're beautiful. Moving on. Down here we have a little Zabrina wandering Jew, Trandescantia. I can't remember what it's called. It's a cutting off of a bigger plant that I had. Right next door to it is like a type of coleus that's supposed to look like a sea anemone, but that one's just a propagation. Next shelf down on the far left hand side is the Trandescantia tricolor. It's definitely one of my favorites. The one in the middle is the Peperomia orba or pixie. I can't remember what it's called exactly. And then the one on the right is another kind of Trandescantia that my friend Cinnamon Buns brought over to me. And it was just a little bit smaller when I first got it. It has grown a lot. But the orba in the middle has just blown up over the months. The tricolor Trandescantia is a showstopper and probably one of the ones that my friends comment the most on when they come over. The Peperomia orba is definitely my most impressive Peperomia because it's the biggest and the baddest. And that one's my most sentimental plant because it's the only one that I have that's a cutting from a friend's. And Cinnamon is a super good friend of mine, and that's a very special plant to me. So if you're watching, thank you so much, Cinnamon Buns. We love you. Next shelf down from that is a couple of propagations that I've potted up. Let's see, a strawberry begonia propagation, a neon pothos propagation, a struggling arrowhead plant that for some reason I can't remember to water, a marble queen pothos who is killing the game, and also a little philodendron Brazil propagation that I potted up also. Between all of them, I mean, obviously the marble queen is my favorite, and I don't even think she really lives here. I think I just put her in here because I was trying to flex the pothos game, you know what I mean? But back there is a little burgundy triangularis that hates my guts, so what are you gonna do? But look at the marble queen. She'll take your mind off of all that. Isn't that beautiful? I love her. Down on the very bottom is my starfish Sansevieria that I still haven't potted, still haven't picked a good spot for. And on the right is some philodendron Xanadu that I split up and repotted. And let me tell you something, it did not go as good as splitting up those silver pothos. That's the only piece of it that's still alive. The pieces that I potted are dead. R.I.P. Philodendron Xanadu. Next up is my most impressive plant specimen that I have in my plant room, and also probably the biggest plant that I have in general. It's my white bird of paradise, and this is the plant that got me addicted to big, fat, gnarly leaves. And when this first one pushed out and it was as big as a freaking oar for a boat, I was like, what other plants out there have giant leaves that make me super happy? And then I found philodendrons. Right above my bird of paradise is my Hoya carnosa tricolor, and it is the only Hoya that I own. Sorry, Hoya heads. It's not that I don't like Hoya. I think this is the literal only Hoya that I've ever had available to me that didn't come online. And obviously, I'm not super into them because I haven't ordered them. Ignore that disgusting begonia next door. I don't even know if we're going to talk about that. That's a sore spot. But anyways, that's my Hoya carnosa tricolor. Super cute. Super cute. Right next door to the tricolor is another fern, and I forgot the specific name of this one, but it's so beautiful. It looks like rainforest trees. I love it so much. It gives me so much joy. And if you look, hidden inside this thing is a little styrofoam cup, because that's janky in how I roll, but it's got a watering spike in it because I can't be trusted to keep track of the watering of the ferns. So I have ferns and they're beautiful and we just use them. Anyways, if you look at the little tendrils that are coming down off of this guy, you can tell he's loving life, he's loving where he's at, and he's walling out. So he's having a really good time up there. And I think that if I came across another fern just like this one, I would buy it because that's how much I love these ferns in particular. Next to my fern is my strawberry begonia. Anybody who was looking for an update on that, there she is. Looking good, except for just a little bit of crispy leaves over there on one side, and that's perlite, not mealybugs on her. She's finally clear of it, and she's finally happy. And another little thing about these strawberry begonias is they do like to keep moist. I let her dry out, big mistake. But she's happy enough to be procreating because those are little strawberry begonia babies. And that's the whole reason why I wanted a strawberry begonia plant in the first place. And I'm super stoked that she's put them out. And I can't wait for them to get big and look all cute. Then we have my Vanda orchid. And this Vanda is the purple blue bloom variety. I saw it at Lowe's and I was freaking blown away. Call me a plant noob, call me whatever you want, but when I first saw Vanda orchid, it was the first Vanda orchid I'd ever seen, and it was the first window into different types of orchids. The coolest part about this orchid is the fact that it just kind of free hangs in its basket and the roots just do whatever they want. They're really crispy right now because I forgot to put it to bed in water last night, so please don't judge me, but it's not dead, and it really loves soaking completely overnight. It's grown so much, and it's super cool orchid. This is my Golden Child Hedra Helix. It has like a yellow and white type of variegation on the leaves. I had the hardest time trying to show you guys the variegation really well with the sunlight that was coming in, but it's so gorge, so beautiful. I had a really hard time with this ivy and spider mites until I used that systemic pesticide, and now it has pushed way through the damage that it got from spider mites, and it's growing so beautifully. It is such a romantic plant to have. It is so gorgeous to watch trail, and so glad I made that plant purchase. So glad. Next to that is my Heartleaf Philodendron, and this one I got for $1, Bob, at Lowe's because it was looking 10 different kinds of shabby. It weighed about 500 pounds because it was just soaked to death. And I brought it home, and I swear on everything holy, you guys, I didn't water it for like 2 months until it dried out. And it was so happy, and it has just been pushing out growth ever since then. And this one is completely different than the Heartleaf Philodendron that I have in my bedroom, which leads me to believe that there are lots of different kinds of Heartleaf Philodendron. Who knows? The last spot in front of the big window is my dogtail cactus, and if you're looking for a low maintenance cactus, let me recommend this one. I don't remember I even own it half the time, and it is loving life. And those aerial roots that it's pushing out, it says when it's doing that it means you need to water it more. False, my friend, because that thing has been wet since I brought it home from Lowe's. So it's just chilling, doing its thing. If you need a friend that's not going to give you any kind of hassle, get you a dogtail cactus. This plant over here is right above the fountain that I can never remember to turn off before I start filming. It's another kind of Trandescantia. Its common name is baby bunny bellies, and this thing is velvety. I was so scared to top water it at first because of how velvety it is, but one day I was running low on time and went ahead and did it. Didn't seem to mind it at all. So low maintenance and super soft and velvety. This thing has gotten big since it's been in front of the window, but doesn't bother me at all. And if everyone has to duck walking through the doorway, it's not gonna kill them. So if velvety or trailing plants are your thing, I would definitely recommend this Trandescantia baby bunny bellies. It's pretty cool and I love it a lot. Next door to him is my Philodendron Brazil. This is a recent purchase because the Philodendron Brazils that I have in my bedroom are taking forever to grow. And this one had some all lime green leaves on it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to take you home with me. But I smushed a couple of those new leaves that are coming in and they're dead. So big bummer on that one, but it's really cute and I wanted a big one. Last but not least of the hanging plants in my plant room is this combo plant. I think it's actually maybe the only combination hanger that I have. It's Trandescantia, Swedish vine, and some bridal veil vine. It's so big. It's like so hard to handle, so hard to water. I have to like maneuver the trailing pieces. It's a pain in the ass at this point. So I'm thinking about splitting it up, but it's really cute. Then there's my Monstera Deliciosa and my Fiddle Leaf Fig. And my Monstera stayed over in Fern Gully for just a little bit too long, wasn't getting enough light, and not super thriving. But my Fiddle Leaf Fig has done excellent. Not dropped any leaves since it's come home from the nursery, and it's put out a total of 3 since it's been here. So I think that prime time window location has served it well, and I'm trying to share some of the love with my Monstera. Poor little baby. Next to that, we have a cane variety of begonia. The light was getting really difficult to capture this plant, so I couldn't get a very far back version. But if you struggle with begonias, I need you to try a cane begonia because they seem to be the most forgiving. And I put my cane begonias in terracotta pots and I let them completely dry out before I water them. So they're not super fussy. I've never had one drop a leaf. It doesn't behave like a zebra plant. Let's put it like that. It ain't no zebra plant. So you can have begonias, and I think if you're new to the begonia game, you should give a cane begonia like this one a try. And next to this begonia is my Begonia Morocco. And this has got to be one of my favorite begonias. I love the large disc-shaped leaves. They're extremely corrugated. They're fuzzy. The stems are fuzzy on it. It's got like a strawberry hue of the undersides. It's just really cool. And when that bloom on the right-hand side of it pushes out, it's got telescopic blooms. It's a really cool begonia. Definitely one of my favorites. This is Begonia Snowcapped, or at least I think it is. Please don't cringe if you're a begonia expert. Just tell me what is in the comments and I'd love to correct myself. But this one is super beautiful. Lots of white variegation on the leaves. And if you can see, that is a completely hot pink border around that begonia. If you look at the blooms, it's hot pink, bubblegum pink. I mean, get your life. Super adorable. Love it. This is a little Rex begonia variety, and this guy has just really failed to thrive. I did not have him in nearly enough light. I planted him in way too big of a pot. It's just a combination of issues with this guy. He's got a lot of potential with that hot pink and that silver. I really like it, but we just have not been getting along. I've put him right here in front of the window. Hopefully he's going to change his mind. Otherwise, you know, we may just have to talk about our relationship and how we're going to move forward. Next to that guy is what I've been told is Begonia Beningo. It's such a cool cane begonia because it has like several different patterns on the leaves. One of them is green and white, one of them's pink and white, and one of them's hot pink and like black. This thing is super cool. This one I forgot about. It's the bottom portion of that little hanger, and it's my goldfish plant. I just had to get rid of a bunch of blooms because it had a battle with aphids, and that was super fun. But it just now got back into Gen Pop. Down here I have 2 different varieties of cane begonias. One I just call my vampire begonia because it's like the leaves are just black almost and the stems look like blood. Ew. And the other one's called the Prince of Orange cane begonia, and it's the polka dot one. They are both really fantastic plants. Both of them, when they came home, took forever to put out growth when they first got here. But ever since then, they've been putting it out and putting it out, you know. So really cool begonias, really easy begonias. They're not right next to the humidifier, so give those a try if you like begonias. Here is my dwarf banana tree, Zabrina. The variegation on this thing is out of this world. It's one of my favorite plants, hands down, and it really, really, really needs the light of the window, so it gets front row seat, and it is constantly putting out new growth. I mean, if you don't have a lot of patience for plants and you have a lot of sunlight, get a banana tree. Those things are constantly pushing out new growth. I like a plant that really performs and is super prolific because I get bored with my ones that take forever. The beauty of my Begonia Sinbad was probably the hardest to capture. The lighting was not cooperating, but the leaves on this look like stained glass when it's coming through, because you can see the hot pink veins in it, and the little eyes of the little leaves, they look like little hot pink pokers poking through. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous begonia. I love it so freaking much. Look, you can see back there, look at that. Is that not the coolest thing ever? Super pretty. I love pink and I love this begonia. Just down from him on the shelf is a little aloe plant that I just, I don't have much to say about that one. He's just doing his thing. He's just chilling. This is my Fittonia that got so crispy being in my bedroom that I was like, I'm just done with it. I'm going to put her in front of the window and just, kill her. She's doing just fine. She's loving the window. Super weird plant. Next to her is my Impatient, and it looks like she needs to be watered. Sorry about that. She had a bunch of really cute, like bright neon purple blooms, and they just recently fell off. It might have been because she needed to be watered. Who knows? With the prime time window location is my 3 different types of coleus. I have one called Ruby Red Slippers. It's the red one in the front, or in the back, I'm sorry. Then there's the one that looks like a sea anemone, and then there's the one called, I think, Kong Mosaic. And I love coleus, but they need the window. So if you don't have the window with the good light, then keep moving, sister. Next to them, we have a Croton, and I have been super shocked about how thirsty this thing stays. Super thirsty. I didn't think they drank that much. I've got it in a terracotta pot, so it breathes a lot, and it's put out those 4 green leaves on top. Oh, and I think 2 yellow ones below that. So it is turning colors, and it is putting out new leaves. So it seems to be doing, I'd say, relatively good. Over here on the rack, we've got a super lucky burgundy triangularis. Is that even right? I don't know. And then next to that, I have a heuchera, or a coral bells plant, that is supposed to be outside, because you can see by the nasty colored gross leaves on the bottom that it is not feeling it being in the house, which I totally understand. It wants to be outside. And then I have another Rex begonia. I think this is pink streak or red streak or something. I can't really remember. That's what plant tags are for, and I haven't gotten around to it in the plant room yet, so stay tuned. Maybe I'll go around and do that. But this one's super easy also. I let it dry out. It actually droops when it's ready to be watered. Super easy. By the window, no extra humidity. It does really well for me. I love it. I almost forgot the orchid shelf, hanging shelf thing that I have. It's up above our recording area, and it's 3 or 4, I think, orchids that have all lost their bloom spike, except for this one, who doesn't really look like a traditional Phalaenopsis. I'm sure it's some sort of cultivar, but it is so pretty. I love it so much, and I've had it for months. It's killing the orchid game right now. I love it. To wrap up this plant tour, we have this beautiful coleus, and I don't really even know the name of it. Winston, what are you doing? Get out of the way, buddy. It's Autumn Embers maybe, or something like that, but it has grown the best out of any coleus I've brought in the house. It's breathtaking. It's beautiful. It gets me lots of compliments, and it's just a really cool looking plant. So thank you guys so much for coming and checking out all my planties in my plant room. Okay, well that wraps it up, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for taking a look at some of the plants that are in my plant room, and it's been fun hanging out with you guys. If you guys had a good time hanging out with me, be sure and hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see the next videos that are coming out. It's gonna be planty content. That much can be assured. Oh, check it out. Casey got me a t-shirt. Thanks you guys so much for coming by, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye.